Hello. Welcome back. It's Louisa Munson, and I'm joined again by the lovely, gorgeous Jay Atkinson. Let's find our names. There we go. There we are. So we've got it.
Now I know who I am.
Yeah, and I know who I am. We've got a couple of people watching us already, which is very nice indeed. Hello, whoever you are in the world.
Hello. Nice to see you. To see you, nice.
And this is our big dreamer night, isn't it? Because today there's this big conjunction between Jupiter and Neptune. In reality, it's been lining up for the last month, and it will still be going on by, we'll still be feeling it by the end of May. But this particular week, or more accurately say 10 days, is one of heightened emotions. How have you been this week, Jay? What's been going on for you?
Heightened emotion.
Share.
Heightened emotionally. Yeah, kind of leading into what you're talking about. And I've been so excited to listen to you because I don't know much about that side of it, the astrological side. I kind of focus on other things, but I'm so excited about it because I read a little bit today. I read what you'd posted, and it just made so much sense. It really did. And I'm thinking, yeah, it is a time for dreaming big. And today, I wasn't sure I could even dream small, because you go through these phases, don't you? And you have these ups and downs. And then tonight, I'd had a good talk with myself, and several things had happened today. And I'm thinking, no, I have some stories about how I actually manifested a big dream on 2 occasions, the 2 that I can think of that spring to mind. So I will share those if that's okay. So yeah,
absolutely. I've got some kind of magical manifestations as well to share as well. We're joined, somebody's revealed themselves. It's Cindy B, who's saying boa noite, ladies. That's Portuguese for good evening. Hey, Cindy. I hope you're well, and hopefully we'll catch up soon. Let us know if you've got a question for us tonight. We'll tune in and see what comes up, what arises within us. Well, like this energy, it is like a psychic energy. It's like the energy field of expansion and hope and optimism, kind of combined with a high level spirituality, creativity, and neither of them have any boundaries, and they're in the sign of Pisces. And the last time this actual thing happened was 166 years ago. And I was thinking about the last time they actually came together in the sign of Aquarius, which was 13 years ago, and how my life had changed really significantly in that 13-year period, where my biggest dreams were realized. And that was, before this happened, I was single, but wanting to meet the man of my dreams. I didn't have any children. I was unhappy working for large corporations, and I had a business, and it was overwhelming me. I wanted to work from home. I wanted to live in another country, and boom, within about a few months, the alignment, and it just happened on a very particular part of my chart, and then it all came into being. So 3 kids, chickens, dogs, husband, everything.
My God.
It all comes out. So it's quite a magical time. So I'm imagining that, I'm kind of hoping we can help people manifest their dreams, or get to the highest motivating thought for themselves.
Why not? Absolutely. We've done it, I'm not saying, the thing is, when people say, I want to manifest my dreams, there's kind of a process to it as well. It's not just a case of going, easy wizzy, let's get busy. I mean, it'd be nice if we could. And on occasion I have for smaller things, but for bigger things, there is actually a dynamic in play, and a process, energetically, and from a frequency point of view as well. And that is something I'm excited to share, just with my little story tonight, about how I manifested 2 quite big things in my life, really. So she's gone. There you are. You disappeared for a second. It's okay. So where were we? Yes.
From my perspective, it looked like you slowed down and kind of went into some kind of like warp reality. Your words went, they get stretched out and stuff. But hopefully
Well, I tell
We've
you
got a couple more.
we could
We've got a
expect
couple of.
we've got 2 more people. Yeah?
Yeah, we've got more people. I just want to share a couple of comments. We've got Owen Lloyd Martin here, and he says, I need to dream big right now. I know, I hope you don't mind me sharing, Owen, but Owen has just been through a bit of a shock, quite a big one. And so, yeah, anything we can do to help you right now, Owen, we'll do that. And we've got Julie Boo here. Hi, Louisa. Apparently the universe is pushing me to you because I always just happen upon your live streams. And it's always something I needed to hear. That's lovely, Julie. Well, let us know how we can help you today. That would be absolutely wonderful. We want to co-create with you. There you go.
We certainly do. Yes.
You know how people have rituals at the time of a new moon or a full moon, and some people sit down and think in terms of intentions. Well, I was thinking today, if I was going to set my intentions for the next 13 years, what would I do? And I was starting to think, right, I want to sort my health out, I want to sort my life out, I want to sort my money out, I want to do all these things. And then I thought, hang on a second, I'm seeing these things all as a problem. And wouldn't the best thought be something like, I am forgiveness? I was trying to think, what is the originating thought that would undermine all of those worries and concerns? And how could I be it? So I was thinking, how could I go to like a master thought or something? And so I was thinking, I'm forgiveness, I'm gratitude, I'm love. And then in the end, I just thought, well, even if I say forgiveness, it's kind of bringing up it's kind of bringing up resistance. The idea of forgiving means there's something that needs to be forgiven, that there's polarity. And so in the end, I was like, I am, or I, like going back to like the idea of one, or like just oneness. And then I was just thinking I, or I am. And I just thought I am, because then I'm kind of oneness in being, in person. That's how I was thinking. So I was just kind of sitting there, and rather than writing down a whole wish list of where I want to be, I was just focusing in on the energy of I am, like I exist, and that I'm at the center of my existence. But I didn't know if that was bonkers or not.
I think so. The thing is, it kind of lines up with something I've been going through this week, and I had a bit of a shamanic journey, and again, I was going to mention something about light language this evening if we get round to it. You know how quickly the sessions go. But I'd had a light language session with an absolutely incredible being. She's amazing. I won't give her name out right now because she's just started, but oh my God, off the scale. And what it did was it kind of brought me to the realization that all my life, and I don't know if anyone else has felt this way, I suspect many have, all my life I've felt as if just being me wasn't enough. I had to prove something or provide something or be of service to someone, or, just prove that I was worthy of even being alive. And I know that's dramatic, but I think that's actually a lot of people, hear my mother's voice and my father's voice. Oh, get out of bed. You need to be doing this. You need to be doing that. And I can understand that. I do. But now I'm sort of getting to the age of, whatever, 66 next week.
No way. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I know. I only look 70. It's great. But when you get to this certain age, and you've been through a few things, you start to think to yourself, well, I just want to be loved and accepted for who I am. But that starts with me.
Yeah.
And everything does. It's always an inside job, and it's always about us. So you can do whatever rituals you like. You can go to the classes, the seminars, the cruises, read the books, get the DVD. But at the end of the day, if you can just sit with that little tiny self inside that feels very inadequate, and a lot of the time I've also discovered that some of these things that we carry that we think are ours, including restricting beliefs, are actually from our mother when we were born, our parents as we were growing up. And we absorb all this energy. And I think for a lot of people, the last few years have been about wading through all of that stuff, peeling off all the onion skins and finding out what is at the very core. And it's frightening because you get to the core and you think, well, there's nothing there. Who the hell am I? But once you get there, and if you can sit in that little piece of fear for a while, you do actually discover that there is something quite magnificent, and it's like a bright, shining diamond. And I think before we close, I don't know how you feel, Louisa, but before we close, I'd like to do a little teensy-weensy meditation that will sort of get us into that space for the beginning of manifesting whatever it is that you feel that you need in your life. So, and
I
it is,
think that's a fantastic idea, and I think we should do that as an opening as well.
yeah,
But before we do it, can I just say hello to a few other people and read out some comments, because we've got a nice little flow going on today.
good.
Oh, and yeah, you know Vinny, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah, I had a session with him, and funnily enough, I recorded an interview with him very recently, which I'll go live with soon. But he's working, like the diamond energy that you're mentioning. Something kind of there's a resonance with
Oh,
you
wow.
guys and the way you're working at the moment. We should get him on one night as well.
Good.
So we've got Owen just said love to you both. That's very nice. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Julie Boo is giving Owen some love, and she obviously knows a little bit about his situation.
Oh,
We've got Nubia here. I love how everyone is here for each other. So hello, Nubia. And we are also joined by lovely Shannon Renee Brown. And she's there with her little granddaughter, Cora, who's a fairly new little being. She's not even a year old yet, and so she's saying hello as well.
Wow. I was watching some baby lambs today, so she's our little baby lamb then.
Oh, yeah. We saw a little lamb today when we went into the country. It's so nice, isn't it? So and that's Shannon in Texas. So we've got people all over joining us today. So did you want to open us, Jay, or get us ready to do a little bit of soul searching and
Yes, we will. So we'll set the intention that there's just this evening's session is just about everybody coming together in this lovely, lovely space, which is very, it's almost like, imagine that I've been cleaning all day and I've cleaned out this beautiful room, and it's very cozy and squishy, and everybody can sit down and find their favorite cushion in whatever color suits them, because this room is for you. It's your room. And as we sit in this beautiful circle, just feeling this amazing love. And right in the very center of this circle is the most brilliant diamond. It's beautiful. It's so many faceted. It literally catches the light and it spreads its light, and it hits every one of us in the heart, and it lights up the diamond within our hearts as well. And so from that point of view, and I'm tingling now, we are all connected on this beautiful diamond energetic. So not only is the diamond in the middle, but we are the diamond. And now we're all connected in the heart as we go through this evening's session. Welcome, everyone.
Lovely. Thank you.
Welcome.
And we're also joined by my lovely hubby downstairs. That's Carl, advertising his channel there very nicely. Thank you.
You're off.
Yeah, and he's got. So, until a question comes in from somebody, do you want to share one of your stories about manifestation, or think about what you might be manifesting in this next 13-year period?
Okay, well, I don't know about that, because for me, the way I work, this is just me though, everybody's different, but I tend to work now very much on just being in the moment and finding as much happiness and joy in the moment as I can, because we can't project. I can't personally. I feel like I can't project anymore. It's like as soon as I go an inch forward, I lose my center. But that's not for everybody. But again, if you even imagine that your life is even better, it's like this or something better. And as soon as you think that, then your life is going to expand into much more and into better things. And when you clean up your vibration now, or you clean up your act, so to speak, or you start thinking about, like the words you're using and the feelings that you have, and when you're being authentic, you automatically move into that heart space. And it's the heart space that brings me to my my two stories. I'll tell the first one because the first one was a long time ago when I was a little girl, and we moved. My mum kind of upped and moved overnight to 200 miles from where I lived with my stepfather to be, and it was a bit of a shock, to a child of 5, and kind of felt like I'd lost everything overnight, which was, daunting. But kids just kind of get on with it, don't they? And excuse me, we lived in this grotty old flat, this apartment in Newcastle on Tyne, in what was later deemed a slum area. It was a really awful place, but we just lived there. And my bedroom was an attic at the very top of this old Victorian house, and I didn't have any carpet on the floor, so it was bare boards. I had a very tiny bed and a tiny little window, and in order to, because I loved reading and because I sort of believed in, I wanted to make my life, because my life was really, really weird at the time. My mum and dad were it was just a not very nice situation. And I used to go up there and escape. And so I'd go into the bedroom, and all I had in there was this little tiny mat, and it's called a proggy mat. And for our people who live abroad, what that is it's like a rag rug, and my granny used to make them.
Right. Yeah.
She used to tear up old nylons and tights and overalls and jumpers and any strips of old, and then you'd make a rug out of it. So it was on the floor. And this particular rug was made, it was about 2 foot by 2 foot. It wasn't very big because it wasn't a big room. And I decided that was going to be my amazing carpet, my dream carpet. So then I found an orange box in the next bedroom. There was like a spare bedroom with a load of old junk in it. So I found this orange box, and I found an old piece of silk curtain, and I found a biscuit tin lid for a mirror. And that was my princess. I was the princess because I went to town. It was brilliant. I could be anything I wanted. So one day I decided I wanted to be a mermaid. So I dived off the end of the bed onto the rug, which was my lagoon. And do you know what? I lived it so fully that 45 years later, I found myself in that very lagoon that I had dreamed of as a child, because my heart was in it fully. And the desire and the manifestation came from my desire to feel better about myself at the time and my circumstances. And when I ended up in the middle of the South Pacific for a month, living on the side of a lagoon where I watched dolphins every morning, I realized, I suddenly sat one day watching these beautiful dolphins, drinking my coffee on the rocks on the side of this lagoon. And I thought, my God, this is my proggy mat. This is my lagoon. I was a mermaid as a child, and I've manifested it. And I absolutely knew without a shadow of doubt that it had taken a while because, again, you don't actually think that you can have it. But when the desire is so strong, and children are very, very good manifestors of things, because they're in the moment. And so I'd say to anyone that wants to manifest something, make sure that it's something that is in your heart, that it's a heart's desire, because I don't believe that we're meant to just go, oh, I want this, I want that, I want to manifest this, I want to manifest that. Imagine if we got everything we asked for. We'd have house full of stuff. We'd have far too much. We'd be like children in a sweet shop. But the manifestation process has a time, because we live in a time-space continuum. So there is a process to it. But I didn't realize until I found myself on the edge of this South Pacific lagoon. And I also, on the way there, stopped off in Hawaii, by the way, which was also a childhood dream, and swam in the ocean at midnight in Hawaii. And all these things were things I dreamed of so profoundly in my heart. I could feel I was there before I even got there. And I think that's the key. And if you say wanted something for a reason, a good reason, and it was a heart reason, which I'll share my other story later on to demonstrate that heart and that vibrational frequency from the heart is what actually manifests. That's the thing. It's the desire. And it's almost like propulsion, jet propulsion, and it goes through the energetic system, and it has to manifest because it's the law. It really works.
That's That's incredible. And you've just reminded me actually of a massive manifestation that I did as a child, which
Wow.
lasted as an adult. And I don't think I was necessarily dreaming about it. So it is a manifestation, but it was a sense of knowing that I had about something that was going to happen in the future. So,
Yeah.
you know, like adults, they ask you as a kid, what are you going to be when you're older? And so loads of people would ask me that. And my standard response, and I have no idea where it came from at all. My standard response was, when I grow up, I'm going to go and live in France and it's all going to be okay.
Wow.
And it was really weird. You know, it must have been really weird for my parents to hear that, you know,
Yeah.
but I remember speaking it and it became a thing. Oh yeah, she's going to go and live in France. I didn't even really know what France was, you know, when I was that small, but I just knew I was going to live in France. And then when I got to about 8 or 9, I stopped saying it because I probably realized it was very weird and it was probably not going to happen. And, you know, I did my A levels, you know, so I finished school and I was due to go to university to do fine art and philosophy. And one morning in between leaving school and going to university, which I didn't do, I had a dream. And in that dream, my granddad came to me and he said this poem in my head. And I remember it. It was, wherever you go, whatever you do, we'll be there. We'll look after you. Things will be okay. And it just played in my head. And I just knew I had to go to France. And so I said, Mum, Dad, I'm going to France next day. And they said, oh, you're not, you're off to university. And I said, no, I'm going to go to France. Well, what with? I don't know, but I'll find the money. And I went to my nan, who was married to my granddad, and said, oh, Nan, I really want to go to France. And she said, here, have £100.
Oh, goodness.
Don't tell your mum. But of course, my parents know now. And then about a day later, or maybe 2 days later, I packed a little holdall with just I don't even think I had a sleeping bag. I literally just had a couple of changes of clothes, some makeup, really things like, you know, a Walkman cassette player,
all you needed.
and a load of stamps, and so I could write home to my family.
My God,
and batteries for the Walkman. And I got over to Calais because my dad dropped me off at the ferry port. I arrived in France, got to Calais, and then burst into tears, didn't know what to do. And then I took my necklace off and just used it as a pendulum over the map of France. And I knew where to go, and I just met people along the way showing me the next step. And I lived in France on and off for about 5 years, you know, so I spent about 9 or 10 months in France. Then I'd go home for a couple of months and then I'd come back out. And, you know, eventually I met a man who I was with for 11 years and we moved back to the UK. But it was obviously an important step. And I obviously meant to go to France. But I think if I'd focused on it intensely for 20 years or 18 years, it wouldn't have happened. I'd have built it to something.
Yeah, because I think that's what I found as well, is when you focus your intention intensely for a very, very short space of time, and then the art of letting it go. It's a real art, because the more that you focus on it, you kind of push it away because some part of you doesn't believe it. And so I believe that that's why you went to France, because you thought it, and it never really thought anything about it. And it's the same with me. I just assumed I was in the lagoon as a child, and I didn't think, oh, I've got to manifest this. It was just my bliss at the time. And I believe that that's what it is. That's what manifestation is. It's just you having a not even a conscious desire. It's just loving whatever something is, loving whatever it makes you feel like. And then you get more of it coming to you. And that's kind of what you would probably call the law of attraction. Although I personally believe the law of attraction is kind of misunderstood and misread sometimes. And I like to put people straight on that one, you know, and just say, you know, it's entirely possible and it is real. Just maybe not the way it's being taught, because, you know, it's a lot simpler.
Yeah, absolutely. We're joined by some more people who are saying hello in the chat room. So we've got Bob and Viv, who are saying Boa noite from Bob and Viv. They've newly come to Portugal. Actually not that new. I mean, they've been here a while now. Lovely people. It's lovely to have you back. And we've got Catherine O'Leary, who's saying, good evening, Jay and Louisa.
Hello.
I think that's one of your friends, isn't it? And hopefully one of mine now. Is that someone?
Oh, yeah, I know who she is. Hello, you. This lady, that lady is incredibly talented, actually. She's a brilliant reader,
Oh,
medium,
wow.
if you want to call her, and she's very, very, very talented. So thank
Mm,
you for joining us, Catherine. It's
yeah,
lovely to
thank
see
you very
you.
much.
Bless her.
Um, Bobby's
Oh,
just saying clear intention and heightened emotion.
oh
Yes,
yes,
I agree.
absolutely. Yeah, I totally agree with that. That's exactly what it is. Yeah. Can I tell you my second one now? Because that
Yeah,
kind of
go on.
leads into it.
Yeah.
And the reason being, when I was just, well, before I was 60, which was 6 years ago or so now, um, I had this. I was lying in bed one morning with hubby Kim, and he's used to this now. And I just said to him, I said, I've been thinking about things, and I thought, we haven't got much, we're not rich money wise, but we've got loads of other things which make us millionaires.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
but I'd got this obsession with having to leave my beautiful granddaughter Evie and now my grandson Bo. I wanted to leave them something, like nobody's ever left me anything in a will, and that's fine. But sometimes it's nice when people do
Mm,
leave you a little legacy. And I thought, I haven't got anything to leave her that's. And because it was my 60th birthday coming up, I just decided that I don't know why. I thought, well, it's my diamond year. Oh, I want to buy myself a diamond. And this just started as a thought in bed one day. And I said to Kim, I want to buy a diamond. And he looked at me, he said, okay, right. And how are you going to do that? I said, I've no idea, but I have to do it. It's my 60th birthday. I'm going to buy myself a diamond because I'm a diamond. And
mhm.
it felt and it meant something to me personally. No money whatsoever, no prospect of any money. And I'm thinking, my God, what do I mean? Anyway, my mum had actually given me a little ring before she died. And all it is a little gold ring with garnets around. It's a pretty
Yeah.
little ring. And the central garnet was quite big. And I thought, oh, I know what I could do because my granddaughter's called Evelyn. My mum was called Evelyn. I will pass the ring because it's Evelyn to Evelyn through me, but I will put my take on it. So she's got both of us in there and I'll put my diamond in it. And I'd got it all worked out in my head exactly what I wanted to do. And it was because I love Evie so much and I wanted to leave her something precious that meant something to her. And that's how it started. And the next kind of couple of days, I was thinking more and more, and I just decided, right, I don't know where this money's going to come from, but it's so strong, I'm going to do it. So I went down to my local jeweler, who's a lovely, lovely man, and I just said, I want to buy a diamond. And he said, oh, okay. And I took the ring and I said, well, I'd like this garnet replacing and blood. But anyway, told him what I wanted to do. Oh, yeah, we can do that. I said, can I leave it with you then? And he said, yes, of course. So I went out of the shop and I'm thinking, okay, now what? Anyway, a couple of days later, he rang me and I was like, oh my God. And he said, oh, I've got some diamonds in if you want to come down and choose one. I was like, oh, I mean, my God, talk about breakfast at Tiffany's. I felt like Audrey Hepburn. Oh, yes, I'm just going to pop down and have a look at a diamond. So I went down, I just carried it through. I thought, I know this is going to come. I don't know how it's going to come right, but it is. So I chose a diamond and I said, that's perfect. Yes, that'll fit beautifully. Yes, we'll have that one. All certificated. It's a beautiful diamond. I had no idea what it was going to cost me. And it went on and I just said to him, there's no rush, it's all right, take your time. Thinking I've got to find the money somehow. I could not believe what happened next, and our friend Ben knows this story well. Literally within the next week or two, I'll give it 2 weeks, but it was very quickly, I got a letter out of the blue, and it was an old company I used to work for many, many years ago. I was only there about 2 years, and they had a pension scheme which they'd paid me into. I didn't pay anything, and they were letting me know that this pension was now available. And I hadn't been able to get into it for years. I thought, well, it's only going to be about 500 quid, because I haven't paid that much in. What a shock to find out the day before I'm going to pay for the ring, £15,000 dropped through the
Oh,
door.
really?
Yes.
Mm.
And the little ring was about 1,500. I can't remember now. It was something like that. I think it was about 800 for the diamond and the rest of the work. Oh, I can't remember. It was around that time. And I just knew it. And I just thought, my God, that pension had been locked for years, and I had tried every which way to get into it, and I couldn't. We'd even had a financial advisor who said, I don't know how they've done this, but it's totally, you cannot get into it. You're going to
Mm,
have to wait for a certain time. But I didn't know when that would be.
mm.
And I assumed that it would be when I was 66, 65, whatever, but to find, so within, what I mean is my heart said, I need to do this. And there's a reason I need to do it. And I knew that that intention and that emotion behind it and the goal I wanted to achieve, the universe heard me and it delivered.
Yeah.
It delivered before I'd even asked, in fact.
Mhm.
That's how it works. And
Yeah,
that's
it
how
has delivered
you
and
do
you
it.
just didn't know it.
So that's how you dream big. Because if you
Yeah.
have a dream and you want to do something, go into your heart and sit with your heart, because I'll say this little warning, be careful what you ask for because you just might get it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Just careful,
absolutely.
because you can also say, "Oh, well, I want my own house. I don't want a mortgage. I don't want rent." I've said it frequently. I want my own house and I want it outright. And I
Mm,
suddenly thought today, I have to be careful what I ask for because I could end up in a cardboard box. That's a house. That wouldn't have a
mhm.
mortgage on it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Got to be specific,
yeah,
but also you've got to have the ability to let it go as soon as you've done it. And that,
yeah.
if that helps anyone, brilliant.
Well, you know what? This is almost like our manifestation night, isn't it? 'Cause,
Yeah.
Carl, I can think of a couple of things house related
Mm,
that have come up for us. The first one links directly into what you were saying, whereby you didn't think you had the money,
yeah,
but you felt inspired to do something anyway. We
absolutely.
we were in a situation about 6 months ago, 6.5 months ago, whereby we needed to leave the house we were in
Mm,
within 10 days.
mm.
And can you imagine trying to find a new house when you've
Oh,
got 3 children, 2 businesses, 4 chickens, 2 dogs, a load of plants, in 10 days? But we decided to honor the request from
mm,
us,
mm,
and thought, okay, we'll do our best, to resolve this. And so Carl and we just thought, oh my God, that's so scary. What are we going to do? And
yeah.
so, in the blind panic of being homeless, um, and feeling like a sense of absolute, um, wow. I mean, I just felt like, why, I'm in my mid 40s. Why don't we have a home? Like, why can't this be easy?
I
But
know, I
we
know.
we just said, you know what? Um, we let's just put all of our stuff in storage and
Mm,
go on a holiday, and we'll do a working holiday. We'll give the chickens away, which is what we did. Funnily enough, we got them back today. There's very same chickens.
oh,
A sad story.
wow.
Um, we'll leave any gardening stuff. We'll leave our stuff behind, or on loan. We will grow again. We'll manifest again. It'll be fine. And
Yes.
and so we didn't know where we were going to go, and so we put the feelers out to find out, if there was a place that we could go and stay, and this, that, and the other. And the weirdest thing happened. One of the people that I do some work with, and we kind of like help each other and share work. Um, his flat was going to be empty for 2 weeks, and he said, "Oh, okay, you guys can come and stay in Lisbon for 2 weeks free. Come and have a laugh." And so we were like, "Oh, great!" And we could take one of our dogs. We should just put our puppy, or our kind of big boisterous puppy, in
Mm,
a shelter or a kennel for like 10 days.
mm.
So that was great. We had a really, really nice holiday. But the day before we had to leave, and we had our storage all booked, we were literally going to, and we'd been looking for houses, looking for a place to go. Nothing had came up, and so we knew we had to just, be homeless for a while.
Mm.
Um, the man was due to come and collect all of our belongings, and then the night before, we got a phone call, and someone said, "Oh, that house we were going to take, we're not going to take it anymore." So Carl quickly phoned up the people renting and said, "Can we have a look at your house? We hear it's available." And we went, and we were like, "Okay, It's really good. It's in a great location. It wasn't what we were expecting. It really wasn't, but the universe kind of knew where to put us. And it was a lot more than we were expecting to be able to pay. And then within that 10-day period, and we couldn't move in for 10 days. That was a funny thing. So we literally put our storage guy moved our stuff to our new house, but we couldn't move in. We stored it in the garage. We went off on a holiday for 10 days. Just before the 10 days were up, our naughty big dog needed to be collected. And so we couldn't stay where we were staying. And we were going to have a gap of 3 days. And we're like, oh my goodness. And then this company that Carl had done some advertising for, which is a beautiful luxury resort, contacted Carl and said, something like, we liked that thing you did. And he said, oh, well, I'm in the area. Can I come and stay? And they said, sure, come and stay. And so we started this luxury holiday in one of the best resorts in Portugal for 3 days. We stayed in Lisbon for 7 days, then in this luxury resort for 3 days. And then we literally moved into our house and our stuff was already there. And in that time, money was made available because we needed to find like 3 times the rent just like that, which is, you think it's impossible. But if we'd have sat down and thought, if we'd thought this is our budget, what are we going to look for? We'd have absolutely panicked, and we just had to let go of all expectations of finding a home. And it was heartbreaking, like leaving behind plants and leaving behind chickens and and whatnot. But 6 months later, we've got our plants, we've got our chickens back, and we're actually in a place where we feel, it's home for now. We feel very grounded for the first time in a few years.
That's fantastic. Oh, that's priceless, Louisa. That is brilliant. Thank you for sharing that, because I didn't know that, actually. And a similar thing happened in this cottage that we live in now. We were in a lovely cottage, but we had not very nice neighbours, and things went a little bit awry without going into too much detail. And I said to Kim, we've got to go. And this cottage had come up on the market for $250,000, and there's no way we could not afford to buy that. We couldn't even afford a dog kennel at the time. And as it turned out, I'd already said, well, we have to leave this place. We have got to, the other place. And again, in a very short space of time, things turned around. And then Kim actually came home one day and said, that house that you really liked? And I said, yeah. He said, well, I've just been to sweep the chimney there. And I went, you're kidding me. You swept the chimney? And he said, yeah, the lady's lovely. He said, she's just bought it, but she told me that they're going to rent it out. And I went, ring her now. And apparently he'd already had a little word with her. So on my birthday, I think it was 4 years ago now, on my birthday, which was April the 20th,
and it still is April the 20th, isn't it?
Really that now. And he said to me, he came home one day and he said, I've got something to tell you. I said, what? He said, the lady at that cottage said we can go around and have a look tomorrow. And it was more money. It was more money. We needed to find a big deposit. And I just said, if I don't go to that house, I'll die. It was that important. And here we are in our beautiful cottage, and it's detached. There's no neighbours. We could never have afforded this house if we'd have thought through the process of, we've got to get a mortgage, got to do this. You really have got to let go and let the universe, or let God, or let whoever it is that you are in tune with. You've got to let that happen, because we ask for help and then we forget to receive it. You know. And
sorry, your cat's back, your familiar cat, your witch's cat.
She's called Jessica Jupiter, my bringer of joy. And isn't it Jupiter and Neptune? Oh, there you go. Yeah, Jessica Jupiter.
So, we've got some more comments. Shannon in Texas is saying, my favorite manifestation was a hot tub in a hotel room. Oh, that's wonderful.
Oh, wow. Yes. Oh, I'll have one of those. Thank you.
Yeah. Catherine O'Leary is saying, that's amazing, Jay. I'm loving these stories. Thank you.
Thank you, Catherine.
Jackie Grant is joining us. She's saying, hi, Louisa and Jay. Hope I haven't missed too much.
You've missed it all. You've missed it all. You have to watch on catch up.
Welcome anyway. We're not going to kick you out because you're late. It's fine.
Bless her.
And Catherine's come back and said, I truly believe if your intentions are good, the universe will always have your back.
Oh,
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah.
I
Thank you.
definitely
Yeah.
believe that. I mean, you know, like we've had some setbacks, quite a few.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, when these setbacks occur, even though they feel really awful at the time,
Yeah.
I recognize that, you know, because we tend to make these sudden advances, and then we have that and that little crash often is occurring because we're already thinking bigger, because we're both optimists.
Really, truly, yes.
And the moment you have that thought, like, oh, you know, I wonder what it would be like if, then all of a sudden we notice our life reroutes very, very quickly. You know, like, you know, when you go off direction and you're using sat nav,
I do.
and all of a sudden it really turns you around. We get really turned around, you know, and so that thing that I described, you know, about 6 months ago, really, really turned us around. But it was meeting another one of our intentions. So when we moved out here 4.5 years ago, our camper van broke down in this town called San Martino di Porto.
I remember that. Yes,
Which
I
is
remember.
this really lovely beach.
Yeah.
And, you know, we arrived in this really lovely beach, and because we had really great insurance, which was fantastic, we were put up in this swanky hotel for about a month and a half. And then our insurance paid for us to actually rent a place here for a short period of time while they were repairing our van. And they never did repair it. And that's another story. But we got a taste of being here, and we really liked being in San Martino di Porto. And we at the time we weren't earning enough to be able to rent here, or we didn't think so. And we just thought instinctively, no, we have to go into central Portugal where the prices are a bit cheaper. And so in our heads, this was always out of our reach. And then in this like recent move and that last minute kind of house coming up for us, you know, we definitely stretched ourselves. And yet we are affording it. You know, our life has changed significantly in those 4 years. So it took like what felt like bad luck happening, matching with an old intention, and then boom.
Yeah.
It's like, it's almost like that two birds needed to, like, you know, they like, oh, what's that phrase? You get two birds out of one stone. Is that it?
Kill two birds with one stone. Yes.
Yeah. It's just like it all came together like that.
Yeah, and it gathers momentum. And I think the thing is, when you're on a roll, when your frequency and your vibration raise very quickly like that, and your manifestations occur, it takes you onto a great big high. And then it feels as if you've had a fall, but you haven't really. It's just that you've gone up very quickly, and you've got about, it's almost like recovering from G-force, you know, and you come back down to breathe, and you suddenly go, oh my God, that was exhilarating. Why am I feeling so low now? And it's not that you are, it's just that you're having to reacclimatize to having matched the new frequency and the new vibration. Do you know what I mean? It's exhilarating. It really is. It's amazing. I love it.
It really is.
I love this stuff. It truly does work. You know, once you understand energy and frequency, you kind of understand everything, you know. I'm not saying we can always get our heads around it, because I struggle still, you know, sometimes. And you have a day where you think, oh, I'm not feeling quite 100% today, but you always get back on top again. And I always think to myself, right, you know, it's okay if I don't do anything today, or if I don't manifest anything today, or I don't have the best day of my life today, because I'll just have a mediocre day. And I think it's just about readjusting, like with the sat nav, just readjusting. And as somebody famous once said, when an aeroplane takes off, say from here to New York, you know, it doesn't go straight like that in a straight line. It zigs and it zags. Yeah. And that's what life is. We have to zig and we have to zag. And very often what appears to be adversity is actually the universe in a way saying, hang on a minute, we've got something better for you. Just hold back. You know, and that's happened to a lot of people around me at the moment, is where they've been going for that thing and it hasn't happened. And it's like, oh my God, the universe isn't listening. And I'm like, no, you're not listening. If you sit and allow things to unfold more gently, instead of getting your head in there and going, right, because what we do is we ask and then we sit back and go, right, I've waited 2 minutes, nothing's happened. Right, I'll get my head in there and I'll start deciding how to make this happen. And that's
Yeah.
not the way to do it. You know, your head gets in the way. It really does. It's all in the heart. And it's difficult to do that, I understand, but it is entirely possible to do as well, you know.
Yeah. I mean, that's just reminding me of how Mr. M manifested or suddenly arose in my life. Because, you know, I
Yeah.
had this idea of who it was I wanted to meet. You know, I was in my late 30s and I was single and didn't have a child, desperately wanted a child and stuff. And so I was imagining somebody who was single, wanting a child, you know, in a similar way.
Mm.
And you know, I thought about how old they might be, and I was thinking, you know, they would be sort of maybe 5 years older, but not much older than that. And the
Mm.
moment I started putting in these descriptions of who it was I was going to meet, I just kept meeting the wrong guys. Because actually, when I said, you know what, you know what I want, I don't, clearly.
Brilliant.
And I stopped asking, you know, because like when I met Carl, you know, like we were both on the same dating website. You probably know this already. I'm sure I've said this several times,
Yeah,
but
do I
we're on the
remember?
same dating websites, and he'd said he wanted to meet a divorcee who had children and didn't want any more, and I was looking for somebody who'd never been married. And actually, what the universe, like, you know, we came crashing into each other's lives, and of course, he is a divorcee with two children, and I'm
Mm.
somebody who doesn't and wants them, and it looks incompatible, but the energy created between us resolved that incompatibility, and that's the thing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You
It's like
kinda
you can write down your list and ask for George Clooney and you'll get Danny DeVito, but Danny DeVito will be exactly what you want and what you need.
yeah, and actually Danny DeVito might just help you feel great, you know?
You know what? Before I met my wonderful Mr. Atkinson, the chimney sweep, who is actually, by the way, very handsome, I was
He
wanting
is.
I had in my mind a 6-foot Texan cowboy with a Stetson and long blonde hair, kind of, you know, because that's what you
Shannon
do.
might Shannon
And
might know some of those.
she might know some of those, but actually I've found something better, so it's okay now, thanks. Well, you found me really, but, you know, yeah, you know, it's just again, you let go. You can have your dreams, and dreams are
Mm,
wonderful, but it's like when you really let go and say, "Right, just bring me my perfect match right now," you will
yeah.
get it. Just
Mm.
surrender, it'll come.
We've got a couple more comments, and actually one that feels like it might be a question. So
Oh, good.
I
Go
think
on
this might be like how this whole show today just comes together. It's almost like we're all coming to put our arms around and to assist somebody. But anyway, let's just share this one first. Jackie Grant is saying, my father used to say, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. Isn't that
Oh,
perfect?
oh, brilliant. I love it.
Yeah, that's great.
God love telling your plans.
Um, and
Oh,
Shannon's saying, I do know some 6-foot cowboys in Texas. Okay.
oh.
So you know what? I think this is what we've come together for today, and it's to give Owen some support today. So he's saying, I've been manifesting for some time. I
Mhm.
can absolutely hand on heart, you know, like say he definitely has. He's lived in some awesome places actually, and he's saying, however, my path is always blocked. My heart tells me to carry on, but my head is so weighted with issues not of my making.
Okay.
And so although Owen hasn't actually asked us for help, you know, he,
Hmm.
he's saying his path is always blocked. So
Hmm.
if you tune into that, Jay, what's
Um,
coming? And I'll see if I can get my sensible head on. And
okay. Let's both tune in and let's see if we can get something.
yeah, or
Oh,
actually anyone in the chat room, because we're all in this,
yeah, we
we're all in
are.
this
We
vibration
are.
together.
We've
And
got
like you
some,
said,
yeah, in the chat room who are absolutely proficient at doing this sort of thing as well. Um,
absolutely,
you know, I can say to you from the aspect of my thing that I do, which we don't even know what that is anymore. I don't even know what to call it. But from tuning into you in my heart, feel I'm feeling my heart beginning to go now, and I'm feeling a great deal of love. And it's feeling like you feel as though these things are not of your making. And yet my feeling is that you, as many of us did, came into this life with that particular it's like you come in with the stage already set, so to speak, and the players that were in part of that set with you that caused these things around you, which make you feel it's not of your making, but partly you were part of that as well. And sometimes it's very difficult to think that, because we're like, well, I didn't ask for this, I didn't want this, I didn't think this. And no, you didn't consciously. But there's a lot of play, interplay at the moment with people who are recognizing at a very deeper level, that we're dealing with old issues from what we have brought in from previous lifetimes. I've just had one to deal with. And then it's triggered by something else in this lifetime. And we've come to this point now where we're now meeting our tribe, our soul families, who are helping us to clear any blockages in the path. And I feel with Owen, it's like I feel I can feel his block now, and it's like he's terrified. Tell me if I'm wrong here, because this is just me.
He's saying, I'm always being tested.
He's afraid of loving himself, and he's afraid of being loved. Does that make any sense to you? There's a terrifying fear I'm feeling of actually being loved. So I don't know, maybe Owen can tell us that one, because that's kind of what my feeling is telling me. And behind that is what I call the mother of all creation, saying, if you give your heart to me and trust implicitly in the goodness of the love of the universe that is the glue that binds everything. Everything that is yours will be flowed to you as and when you accept it. And there's a feeling of resistance. So it's like, I'm going to manifest this. I want this. Oh God, no, 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 no. It's too big. I can't do it. Does that make sense? I said yes. Yeah. And so again, it's one of those, it's a game of two sides here, I want to say. And so I want to ask you, Owen, if you would be willing at some point in the privacy of your own space to just sit with your heart and say, what is it that I really, really want? And when we're tested on anything at all, it's because that thing within us is not yet healed. It's not testing from the point of view of somebody trying to have a go at you or keep you from what you want. It's somebody saying, this part of you has come up again on this spiral of growth for you to heal fully. And sometimes we go around that spiral several times, childhood issues, previous life issues, all kinds of things can be there, and gosh, with this person, I also, again, I said to you earlier on, Louisa, that when we were talking about what we were going to talk about tonight, and I said I wanted to bring in something to do with the galactics. And on some level, I'm looking behind you at your blue sky scenery, and I'm seeing spaceships flying around. So I don't know why this is significant for Owen, but it is. Does that make any sense?
Does to me. For Owen, because I know we've spoken about. Yeah.
Oh my God! Wow. Okay. Cool. Well, we're on the right track then.
One night about 4 years ago, Owen and I sat out on his veranda, drinking herbal tea, and looking at the stars, and talking about what actually flies above us.
My feeling is as well. Sorry to interrupt, Louisa, but it's really strong. And the feeling that I'm getting as well is that his interest in that is to do with being a contactee. It may not have even been in this life, but he's a contactee. And he is, and I also wanted to mention to you a link that I think might be very useful. and I don't know why, I'm just going to say it anyway. And if it's rubbish, just chuck it in the bin. But, Dr. Stephen Greer, who is doing CE5 contact, which is now saying, right, we take the reins now and we contact them because they're good. The off-planet people, our off-planet family, star family, are waiting for us to say, hello, I'm here. But we have to have pure heart and pure intention. It's not a sideshow. It's not a fairground. They want to connect with us and they want to work with us. And Owen, I feel this is where somewhere you're going to find some kind of, oh my God, I've come home, because they want to talk to you. And they've actually been talking to you, and they've been coming through in your sleep state or in your theta state, so to speak. And I've just got such a strong feeling about that.
Yeah, no, that is absolutely beautiful. I just want to quickly share something, because Owen says he's about to go, he's about to walk bare under a moonlit sky. Thank you for your beautiful words. Wait just one second, Owen, because Nubianette is saying, already wishing Owen less obstacles. He's so admired and thought highly of, regardless or maybe because of what he's gone through. And I would absolutely share that. I haven't actually tuned in today because I'm aware of what's going on for Owen, but I did tune in yesterday, and one of the things that and it's a strange one, because I do know some of the situation. So it's it's a weird one, because I don't want you to feel like I'm just spouting off opinion. This is what came to me in meditation, Owen, and so I hope this is useful. One of the things that I think has been going on in your recent situation is a closure to help you process what's happened with an important character in your life from before that you didn't get to close with. And I feel like history isn't repeating itself, but the family dynamics of the recent adventure that you've been on, there's some mirroring between your other family. Like when I was meditating about how to support you, Owen, or how to help, a mirror came up. I was seeing a mirror, and I was seeing that there are reflected things, and the situation was closing so that you got to have a closing experience that you didn't have before. And also when Jay was talking about Stephen Greer, the other thing that came into me instantly is that you've never really felt completely at home here, and you need to cultivate that feeling of being at home. I know you're at home when you're in nature, but the actual house necessarily, because of a feeling of not being maybe earthbound and completely from here, it almost feels like it's difficult to settle. And I think that will change. And I think your recent experience saw your life improve really, really quickly in one of those sharp about turns. And it's changed really, really quickly. And it feels like one of those direction changes that Carl and I have been on, whereby, we have this sudden intention. I want better, better should be happening. And you have it so clearly and so, in such a focused way. And then boom, this opportunity comes in, and you manifest it. So you've raised your vibration to bring this a wonderful thing in. And yet it was short term, but it's important not to feel like that wasn't worthy of you. It brought you up to realize that you could manifest a really fine life in really beautiful surroundings, in a really, really, amazing sort of opportunity. And I really do feel if you hold on to the vibration of all the good of that, the next one will come in.
I agree with you.
That is helpful.
I agree with that. I was feeling what you were saying there, and I also get the feeling. I keep hearing that song by Kate Bush and whoever else it was, Joe Cocker, was it, or somebody? Don't give up. I can't remember. I'm not going to sing it, but the words,
you can sing it at home. Sing along if you know it.
Yeah, Don't Give Up song. It's like saying don't give up, because I think as well, people who are not of this planet, so to speak, but are actually here, like people like maybe and are feeling like, not, God, what is this place that I've come to? You know, I don't feel familiar with it at all. And we've had to really try and fit in. When we reach the heights, and we can do very quickly sometimes, we're scared to death of it. And we think it's blocking our way, but it's only us blocking our way. And it's like it's happened. And it's like almost like, oh God, I can manifest. Oh my God. Shoot. What am I going to do with that now? But then we don't think that we can have it again, because we've been raised with the, well, there's not, you know, there's not enough where that came from sort of thing. And well, you're on, there's no more where that came from sort of thing. And what do you think? I'm made of money. So all those old paradigms that are falling away now, we're going, well, actually, the universe is absolutely abundant and plentiful infinitely. So not only is there another opportunity coming, this was just your test run, Owen. That was your test run. And the more healing you do on yourself, and the more you come into alignment with, I'm absolutely great, I'm really good at this, and I've got galactic support as well, because you have, and I feel that that is a key for you. Have a look at Dr. Greer, because I feel there's a key there for you, truly. And I think something will fall into place for you, and you will start to feel at home within yourself, if not on this planet. Best of luck with that, sweetheart.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful. Owen saying you're spot on, Louisa. I'm sure he's going to say the same to you in a second. I just want to quickly go to, I don't know if Shannon's still here, but she's just saying, having to bow out. Baby Cora needs a nap. Thanks for a great show. You know what? Shannon is such an amazing grandma. She's such a lovely granny. She sees her too. Like, she's very like, you know, very in their lives. Yeah. Right. We've got a comment also from Catherine O'Leary. Yes, Jay, I'm feeling strongly that Owen needs to step back and reevaluate, see what sparks his heart and what sparks the feelings of blockages, because this is an internal battle that can be won. That's really it can be won.
Wow. Thank you so much for that. That's brilliant. Yeah, totally. Adds to the mix. That's brilliant. Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you, Catherine.
Yeah.
Right. I think I'm feeling all tingly. And actually, Owen is saying, I talk to the Pleiades when I can.
Oh, she talks to the Pleiades. Well, how wonderful is that? Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Pleiadian, definitely. That, I mean, all I can say is that for me, authentically speaking, without going, oh yeah, Pleiades, let's jump into that one. It's definitely the stars and the spaceships around and the contact. It's like, come on, connect with them, because they are your star family, and they need you to acknowledge them as well, you know? So let's do it. Let's go. Good morning, Starshine. That's another song that came up. Good morning, Starshine.
You know what? I've got flipping Don't Stop Believing by, is it Journey? Journey. Because you said don't stop. I've got don't believing. Right, I'll stop now. I don't want to like scare everyone off, although it is time to go. So Owen saying thank you. I think we should bring this to a close. So Jay, do you want to walk us through your diamond shine exercise?
Ooh, okay. Well, we're going to all go home with a diamond in our hearts this evening, but we're going to connect it with the stars. So as we sit in that beautiful circle, get comfy on your imaginary squishy marshmallow cushion, or even if it's a hardback for you, whatever makes you comfortable, just sit back and just sigh a big sigh of relief. And just breathe in the universe. Breathe in. Go to that Star Trek where the stars, it's like space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise. And you can see the stars zooming towards you, and each one of them is a brilliant diamond, and each one of them belongs to one of you. And you have to claim your own star. Just reach out now and touch it and bring it into your heart and feel it go bing as it lands and settles in your heart and begins to sparkle and shine. And from that point, you can now emanate that diamond ray. You can connect with everybody here and everybody everywhere, and especially the galactics and the star brothers and sisters, because they're waiting to hear from us. They want our hearts to be pure. That's our job. And so take the diamond into your heart and then go to infinity and beyond, because everything you can dream about, everything that's imaginable is possible. It all starts with a thought. Bless everyone. I love you all.
That was awesome. Wonderful. And before we say goodbye to everybody, because I can see there's quite a few messages coming in, I just want to add, over this next week, feel your highest intention, go to that place of like higher, even higher than you've gone before. If your highest intention is to feel great and peaceful, think of the thought that will bring that about.
Yes.
And feel it as much as you possibly can, and really like surf on that tidal wave of the Jupiter Neptune conjunction energy in Pisces that's coming in for another 166 years. Like that cycle.
Well, I mean,
Really wonderful.
If I'm right, Neptune is the mystic, isn't it? Neptune, the mystic.
Yeah.
And Jupiter, the bringer of joy and jollity and abundance and everything else. So we've got those two amazing star brothers out there called Jupiter and Neptune that we can now tune into. And that's another thing we can do with our hearts, is to just bring, as we put Gaia or the earth into our hearts sometimes in our meditations, tonight and the next few days, Louisa, maybe you can verify this, bring those two planets in as well and sit them in your heart. And just love them. Just love them and say, bring me whatever gifts you have to offer, and I will share my heart with you. And that will enormously. It's good, isn't it?
That is absolutely wonderful. Let's just read out some of these goodbyes, and then I need to go and get another water and sit down and chill out for a minute. I'm just feeling so fuzzy. I could almost float out of my chair. So we've got Catherine O'Leary saying, sending Owen love and light. Absolutely. Thank you. That's so beautiful. Nubianet is saying like sending flowers, like maybe throwing flowers on the stage. Doing a peace sign.
Darling. Thank you so much.
Bob Yonker. Bob Yonker is saying, we just caught the end. Blessings to you all. Now, Bob Yonker is an inspired musician, and I'm going to get him on my show one of these days. He creates intentional music.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. He needs to come on your show. Yeah,
he's very good. He's done a couple of pieces for me. One that was for somebody, somebody's special birthday. Owen is saying, thank you, everyone. You've helped me heaps. I love you. We love you too.
God bless you, darling. So much love to you. We're always here as well. So, just pop in again. We're always here.
We've got Rose Gold who said, diamond blessings to you all.
Thank you, my darling. She's amazing, this woman. Yes, we also have among us this lady who is a very talented shaman. I don't know how you say it, potato, shaman. She really is a very, very amazing lady. So, as well as lots of other things that she does. And she's also an amazing granny too. So I just want to...
Wow. Yeah. Well, thank you for joining us. It's lovely to have you here. It's lovely. Like, it really does feel like the energy of people here tonight is...
It does. Really super. It does. And I'm sure it's by Neptune as well, and Jupiter, which is great. Thank you, both of you.
And we've got another comment here from Bob Yonker. And he said, actually, I dreamt big and recorded a 6th album today in Porto. The universe keeps providing me with more and more music. Karen was realizing how much we've manifested. She was sitting in a European city because they moved over to Portugal from was it New Mexico? I can't remember. I shouldn't reveal all of your details anyway. But they've recently emigrated, and
how fantastic!
Yeah, and yeah.
Wow. Bob, I'm getting a feeling just quickly. I know we've got to go shortly, but I just have to. My gut is going to just say to you, you are working with the music of the spheres, and you've always had this gift right from being a child and beyond. You've been, I want to say Mozart to you. I don't know why that name came up, but it's like you work with the masters as well, and they guide you. And there are so many wonderful guides from the musical, going back to the 17th, 15th century even. I don't know what that means to you. but I've just seen it so clearly, and it's like, keep going, because this is just the beginning.
Wow, that is
Yeah.
awesome. That's so good. And Bob has just said yes, New Mexico.
Yes, New Mexico.
That is
Oh.
amazing. Catherine is also saying, thank you so much, beautiful ladies, for a truly wonderful evening. Jay, I grabbed the biggest diamond I could see.
Good for you, girl. Yes. Wonderful. I'm so thrilled.
Cindy B is saying muito obrigada, which is like, oh, thank you so much, and love to Owen.
Thank you.
Owen's getting a lot of love tonight. And Bob is saying, I love Mozart and always enjoyed playing his work.
Yay!
Thank you, Owen, as
wonderful.
well.
Oh,
So anyway, I think let's leave that there. But thank you so very much for joining us today.
Yeah.
That was really nice, wasn't it?
It was. It's my uplifting moment of the fortnight. I really look forward to this bit. I really do. It's brilliant.
Oh, me too. And thanks for everyone that's returned. Thanks for all the new people that have joined us today. It's been wonderful. We love it. Please come back again another day. Come and join us and co-create again. Anyway, thank you so much.
Thank you. And good night. Thank you. Good night from her, and good night from him and me.
Ciao, ciao. See you in 2 weeks. Bye.